Welcome back to the Young Bucks Podcast, episode number 68.
Ooh-wee.
These numbers are climbing. Like, it's just going up so fast. It felt like we just did 52 for the year. And now we're at 14.
That was May
14
too.
episodes more. And speaking of that, we're kind of going to be covering everything in our lives that has happened since then. Just
basically since that point.
Broad overview of the summer. For one, to just kind of just talk it out.
No more
as entertaining, but also some of the stuff is why we just kind of face some
interesting times.
Yeah. We had to maneuver through some things, some fun things, some personal things, some, just changes in life.
Life-changing things.
So I'm super excited about today's episode to get
Me too.
into it. But before we get into that,
a word from our sponsor. That's where my mind went.
That's what I was trying to say. No, we have no sponsor, but we're working on it. That
kind of,
sort of. It's brought to you by no one.
Ah, good. That's funny. Nice. No, we got September. We're getting ready for it. We're kind of preparing, kind of getting a new schedule laid out for it, and how we're gonna be proceeding with things. Episodes will still come out on Monday, and we're gonna try and get the full episode on YouTube live on Tuesdays. But we're going to be switching some things around with how we record, when we record, and what we do in between the time of recording and the time the video actually goes out. And we think it'll be a little bit more efficient having select jobs for the podcast, and just getting ready for this last, I guess if we're doing it this last third of the year.
Yeah, the last 4 months. Which is still a lot of time.
Oh, yeah.
Still a good amount of time.
We're looking to see a lot of new things happen, a lot of things that we're excited for, and just ready to take it a little bit more serious than we have in months past. As Henry was saying, when I was scheduling out everything for the months, we're getting into the 70, 71, 72, 73. We're climbing, and we're going to be at 100 very soon, which is crazy.
Yeah.
In 30 weeks.
Yeah, it's still over half a year, but with how quickly this past 3 months has gone by, 3.5 months really has gone by. Who's to say how quickly this will feel like it goes? So, I will say, Chris is when it comes to the whiteboard. Well, first of all, if the whiteboard's out, it's serious, and then Chris is kind of legendary with getting the whiteboard calendar out and jotting some things down. I came home from work late
Wednesday
one night, and Chris was asleep, and then I saw my whiteboard on my desk, and I was like, well, I wonder why this is here. And so I shined my light up at the wall, and I was happy to see a well thought out display of what Young Bucks needs to be for the month of September. So we're super excited, but happy today to review the summer. So
wicka 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 wow.
Yeah. Would you like to go first?
With everything?
I mean, yeah, I guess we can just we can open it up to conversation. You can just start with how your life has progressed over the last
to now
3 months. Or since the first episode of the year. Some changes, stuff like that, and then I'll just talk to you about them, and then when you're kind of done, I will do the same.
So, I found a newfound love for cricket and bowling.
Stop, dude. No, you're lucky we didn't stop the podcast then and there.
No. So the summer started out really good. We had you guys remember the championship game episode where we had that little bit about the trophy and the shirt and the medal. We kind of reviewed me becoming a state champion, winning for my sport baseball, which I love, and then having my open house, having that be really good times.
I feel like that was like 55.
Yeah,
Maybe?
55, 60. It's one of the last full episodes on YouTube, besides last week's. Then, like, I was really starting my summer. I edited the videos for that episode. I edited a couple shorts from that episode, and I think I was in the middle of one as well that never got finished. And then you guys will remember, well, I went up north with my friends. We recorded that 4-person episode, with me and the homies.
Yeah, you may remember not listening to that
Yeah,
one.
that one might not have been listening to. It's entitled "No Henry, No Problem."
And safe to say there were many problems.
A
with
lot of
that-
problems.
that one.
No, that wasn't like a terrible episode.
Shout out to the boys.
Yeah, we got it done, had a little fun, but like that was kind of my senior getaway with my buddies. Like we just went up north, we chilled, and that sparked my that like kind of ignited my flame to do the podcast more. And like listening to this, you might be like, "Oh, where did it go?"
That's what we're all thinking at this present moment.
No, so I enjoyed that time with my friends because it kind of made me realize what my life like could be like. Like I could go out, live in like a beach cottage with my friends, and we could just chill, eat food, go down to the water, and like play video games inside. Like that could be my life if I wanted it to be like that. So that kind of sparked like the interest and the like desire, the motivation to do the podcast and do it like wholeheartedly. Then I got home that week to some interesting news. I've been thinking a lot because Henry said he wanted to do like a summer recap, and so I've been debating if and how I want to say this. So, and I don't really know if I have like the full like what I want to say down yet, but I alluded to it in the episode that me and Noah did, episode 66 I think. But me and my girlfriend broke up. We were broken up that right after I got back from that vacation with the friends. I think it was June 12th, maybe around that time. And that was that sucked. I'm just gonna say that
It's fair.
it was a very poor situation to be in, a poorly dealt situation, not by me or anybody on my side or her, and it was hard to go through, and that kind of it pushed my limits, but it also like it kind of demotivated me, not necessarily for the podcast, but just to do anything. I remember it was just like for a day, but I had no appetite. I didn't really feel like eating. I mean, that came back because I was starving the next day, but
Yeah, naturally. It won't last long.
it was kind of just like I don't really know how to verbalize this, but like or like vocalize it and
Articulate.
yeah, but that happened. It was a somber time, it was a sucky time, and I mean maybe even on episode 56, like I don't know if I was all there for it. Like I was there, I was present in the episode, but I don't really remember what all happened. You guys could listen to it, you'll probably notice like a bit of change in tone and like what we talked about. I was probably a little bit more quiet. And that kind of just like that broke me. That really did break me. Going through that situation and just being in that like difficult of a time after just having this so pure and like love for life, and just like realizing that I'm entering this new phase into my life, and just like having all this hope and joy of just what's next, and then that kind of not being taken away, but like something getting taken away kind of ruined that. And it sucked. I mean, that's kind of the only way to put it. But like I've been dealing with that every single day, every single week, every single like moment of my life since that moment. I've been dealing with it up until like now, and it's just something that I've been processing and been like realizing and understanding and still trying to figure out. But I'm just like at this point, at this moment in time, I'm okay. That's why I'm talking to you guys about it. That's why I'm sharing. That's why I'm opening up about it, because I'm at a point where it's not hurting me to talk about it. I'm not at a point where it's like hurting my mental state to think about it. I don't enjoy thinking about it. It's not consuming my every thought like it once was, but like I'm at a point where I am like, I'm good. I'm okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Good to hear. I would say you've been a lot more yourself the last few days or so, week or so. So for a while, I mean, you could tell you were bothered by something, or I mean, obviously that happened. And it's not something. It was something I was aware of when considering you and like talking with you and interacting with you. It wasn't something I always thought about like you were. So sometimes it would be like just kind of like why are you acting this way, or why do you seem kind of off, like just and that's not necessarily even negative, but just like in general, like you just haven't really been like yourself. So like I would say that the past like week or so, it seems like you have been. So it seems like you're moving through it better lately, like you said.
Definitely. And I think it all just like it all kind of started to piece together when we like stopped talking like for good.
Mm-hmm.
That really like it made me like, this is done. This is in the past. I can look to what's next,
Yeah.
or like just stay in this moment. I had a lot of revelations like in the last couple months.
Such as.
Dude, just like so many like just different thoughts just about myself, and just like where my place is, and like a lot of stuff that I wrote down that I don't have on me right now. But just like something I came to 2 weeks ago, I think. I don't know. But like I will never understand why it all happened. Like that is something that I'm still coming to grips with, but I will never understand what provoked it all to happen.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like what the one thing was, what did I do, what did she do? Like what happened? I will never understand what the reasoning behind the breakup actually was.
Closure.
But a phrase that I've always heard but never understand, I never put thought into, was the peace that passes all understanding. And when I heard it in church,
I think that's a Bible verse.
the peace that passes all understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's in the Bible. It's in the Bible. It's sung in songs. It's just kind of like a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a trait. And something like it clicked in church 2 weeks ago from Leo, that like he said a peace that passes all understanding, all human understanding. Like I don't need to worry about why this happened, why I'm going through this, because one day like I'm going to have within myself a peace from God that surpasses all understanding, that I won't even have to worry about anything that has happened up to this point in my life, you know? Like it's all just going to be void. It's all like, this is all meaningless, you know? It's all just like I'll just have peace within myself about everything that's happened to me. You know, like I won't have this longing to wonder why. I won't have this like desire to figure everything out, piece all the pieces together like a puzzle. Like I'll just like, I'll have the peace of knowledge of God, and like that's what he'll fill me with, the Holy Spirit, you know? And yeah.
Yeah, it's like those struggles and stuff like that is stuff that brings you closer to him, because that, like, you start to seek help and like you find it in him.
Mm-hmm.
So like generally, like in my life as well, I've noticed like it takes time. Like it's generally once you're through whatever the struggle is, it's like an area you needed help in. Like a particular area, it's really hard to identify in the moment. Like there might be like a specific characteristic that like is being like molded in you because of this. Like it's literally like God's hand has your life is in God's hand, and it's like being shaped, like whatever that trait is. It could be like work, like just an example. I don't think this is it, but just like working like the pride out of you, or like the like something evil, like something like to that nature, where it's like this is taking this trait of you and like giving you like humility, like for as because those like contrasts,
Right.
like
Pride
I don't
and
know
humility.
what, like insert whatever you want, but like that's what in my life, like adversity, it feels like that. Once you're on the other end, you see. So I'm excited for you to like find that, and it sounds like you are finding that, like coming into that. So that's cool. And that's like good perspective to take on, that like eventually you're not going to think about this stuff anymore. It's just gonna move on. You're gonna deal with like whatever the time is then anyways. So like why overthink the things you can't control now? I think that's pretty big, and like good to be embracing now.
Yeah. I definitely think that like he like the like contrary things, like I think he's like, I have this joy and this like love for life, and I think he was trying to show me that like you have this now, but you can like you can still have it here, but here it's with me and not with your earthly life
Stuff.
Yeah, stuff.
Like,
swag.
Swag.
Stuff we all get.
Like Job.
Like Job. Yes. I guess. Huh. I guess, yeah. That's like, that
This
is
your Job moment
Maybe I am in Job. Maybe I am Job. Like,
right now.
maybe. Well, I was. Huh. Yeah, I did write some stuff down about Job too. But once again, it's all over there, in the other room. And so that's kind of just like where I've been. I've been like realizing a lot of things. Like I've also been realizing kind of that like I kind of just am myself. Like I don't really like I'll say the first thing that comes to my mind. Like I don't really, I say things like, mainly everything I say is a joke or sarcastic, like amongst everybody. Like that's kind of just the tone I have. That's kind of like, I'm kind of a jokey, I'm like a goofball type of thing. And I've also kind of been realizing that like it's okay, like I should still be myself, but like realize that I affect other people with what I say and how I say it and what I do. And I like that I can be annoying to people too sometimes, rather than just like, why are they not responding to me, or why are they taking that tone with me type of thing.
Yeah.
And I kind of realized that recently. But like at the same time, I still want to be myself.
Sure.
But just taking that into consideration, like being a little bit more careful.
Some maturity.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm happy to hear that. It's good. That's good.
Shoot. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It doesn't really get like better. Like we're kind of just gonna stay somber the whole time.
For you?
No.
For what?
Well, the breakup, I also had to deal with that while I was going to school. Like that going to school definitely helped, but I had to like I was going to school, I was going to classes daily in the summer while dealing with this. And I think it helped because it took my mind off it a little bit, but then like I would be like, well, what do I do in my free time? And then I would go to text her, but then I'm like, no, I can't, I shouldn't do that right now. Like it was kind of just like added to the struggle
Yeah.
a little bit, but also it did help. Um, Surprisingly, like what I've realized is like I've been in a lot of terrible environments. Like I guess is what they're not ungodly environments.
Sure.
A lot of language, a lot of just like inappropriateness, like kind of just like people that aren't like Christians.
Mm-hmm.
And like being in that situation, like with those people, like was actually so helpful because like I didn't have like all those people were just going along with their life. Like I was over here dealing with something internally and emotionally, and every single one of those people were just going on with their life. Yeah, I would like talk to them. I created a relationship with some of those guys, but like I was just I was there suffering, and they were just there living their lives. It kind of just like it made me realize that like it's not all about you. Like people aren't gonna like cater to you. Not everybody knows what you're going through. Like you're sitting here going through this, but like they're just living their lives.
Like they have no idea.
Right, they have no idea. They don't care. And it was so good to just be around people that didn't know, didn't care, just treated me for who they saw me as, you know?
Yeah.
And that like not trying to have people poke in, figure out what was going on, trying to fix the problem. Like it was just like it was just a good getaway, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, it seems like the newness was good and bad. Like, had both good and bad in it. Like, not knowing anybody.
Right, not knowing anybody, like, but then by the end of it, I got to like I talked to everybody there. I made relationships with everybody there. Like we all were just a group of guys having fun,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what was really good. And I did enjoy school. I'm glad I did that.
Yeah, that's huge.
And so kind of, I would say my birthday was the turnaround point. Oops. But I really don't think it was. I think it was recently. I think 2 weeks ago from today. 2 weeks from today ago. Last 2 weeks ago today. 2 Mondays ago, because I wasn't at Bible study.
That's why it was better.
What? No, stop,
I'm just playing.
Do not give me that.
I'm just playing, man. I don't care. I mean, I do, but not like that.
No, it was.
You peeking a little bit, by the way.
I'm always peeking. I didn't peek in high school. It was yeah. It would have been 2 weeks ago, and that was kind of just the point where I was like, all right, you've come to grips with this. Like, I had a good talk with one of my friends, not really about this, kind of helping him through this, but realizing that like your struggle is still there and it's always going to be there. But right now you have to be in a spot where you can help him. And so like, and put away like your own like selfishness, not necessarily selfishness, but like want to be helped, but like, and help him out. And I was kind of just like, well, I can just do that every day, you know? And so I've kind of just been like it's not really coming to my mind much more. I'm kind of just like living my life and doing the best I can to just live for God.
So your friend was going through the same thing?
No, something else. He was going through something.
You had to be there for someone else. And so
Right.
it then made you realize that their like dealing with their thing was more important than like dwelling on yours.
Right. I think me going through what I did helped him out. Yeah.
Just kind of made it about other people and less about yourself.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, that's good.
And then so that was kind of like the turnaround. So I started my new job. That also happened.
How long ago?
It happened on my birthday, so I've been doing it for 5 weeks now. Yeah, I'm starting week number 6.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool that I'm am I starting week 5? Starting week 6? Yeah.
End of August, beginning of September.
Yeah. So this will be week 6. I'm actually really enjoying that. That's also taking away some of the mind struggles, the mental struggles, and kind of just like focusing on like having something to do. And then like on breaks, I'll read and I'll journal, and on lunch, I'll eat my lunch. And then if I have time, I'll do the same. And it's kind of just like, it's good to be like, it's good to just like have an out. Like I'll wake up in the morning, I'll go to work, and then I'll come home, and then I'm really lazy. I've been super lazy. And I I don't want the breakup to turn into an excuse, and that's kind of why we're we're starting this new September journey,
Mm-hmm.
And I think that'll be really good.
It's all dog.
It's all dog in this month, and and I'm just excited for what's next, because I got the job on my birthday, and that's why it kind of felt like that was the turning point.
Yeah.
But then like I kind of fell back, and I've gotten a lot of okay, so okay, chocolate.
I don't know.
No,
Just thought I'd say something.
you'd say something. So I'm trying to see where I want to go to get to where I can wrap up. My last thing, my last point proceeds to go on a 30-minute lecture. No, my last. This is I have become so much more involved with God, and I've been involved with trying to create a relationship with Him and sticking to that. I remember I did like in the July episode, or no, the state championship episode, I talked about getting right with God and how like doing that, like how that made me a better person, and that really helped me. And then I kind of fell, but something that was always there was good music. I would suggest listening to some sort of Christian music. That really does help. That brought a lot of life in a dark time, a lot of light in a dark time. And also like reading, writing, reading scripture, and like talking about it is like so good. Like when I read my Bible, it's kind of like, how can I share this with somebody? Like I'm a very vocal person, and I like to talk. And so like when I read my Bible or when I find something new, I want to like share that with people. And so I've been thinking about like doing that on Instagram, like through the podcast or something like that. And I started going to Bible study, which has been great. There's so many good people there that just like make it okay to be vulnerable and just open up about your life and how God's impacted it and how you're struggling and what you're going through, and just that state of vulnerability. And then like going to a new church, it's been really good to just feel a new feeling that I haven't felt like in a while or almost ever, and just like trying to create my spiritual footing before I create my marital footing or like relationship footing, like with another woman whenever that comes around. And so like I've kind of started a new life with this job. Like I'm starting a job, I'm starting to work, I'm becoming a better Christian, I'm becoming more involved in other people's lives. I'm trying to help out people, and I'm also trying to start golfing. I went golf 2 weeks ago, and I got some clubs.
For real?
What?
You went golfing?
No, well, I didn't go golfing, but like, and then I did get some clubs though. I don't know when I'm getting those though.
Oh, see, you just explored golfing.
Yes, but I paid $20 for them, and
Gotcha.
so they should be here at some point.
From China?
No, 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 and so I'm trying to get some practice balls so I can mess around out here. Me and Noah are gonna go to the range sometime on the weekends. Trying to explore into that. I don't know, something to do.
Yeah, a hobby.
That's a hobby for the weekends. Probably like early golf sesh. Go record the podcast. That'll be the Saturday.
Yeah. Shoot, good stuff.
Yeah. I think that's it. That's really just where I'm at. And now for real, I'm excited to get into this podcast because I did think about this walking into work the other day because I was wearing some shirt, and I was like, it'd be kind of cool to like wear the podcast shirt to work
Yeah.
when we get them. And then like people be like, oh, you have a podcast? And I'll be like, yeah. And then like they'll go check it out on Instagram or something. And like we actually have like consistent stuff like with a decent amount of following.
Yes, sir.
And like have people like, I don't want to tell people about it. And then like they'll be like, oh, and then like tell them again once it's blown up, you know?
Yeah.
I want them to know that it blown up, you know? That kind of thing.
It's
Not
like
for
the,
pride.
The
But
origin story.
yeah,
the,
yeah.
The superhero, like,
Wear some merch, you know?
To the rise, the ultimate rise. Following
Rise of Kingdoms. So yeah, guys, the big thing for me, went through my first breakup. It sucked. But just know that like if you guys are ever going through something like that, feel free to DM me on Instagram or anything like that, because I'm very willing to help you through it. I'm very willing to like text you, talk to you, call you. Like I've been through it. I know how it feels. It sucks. I know like it can be hard to share, but I definitely would take the first step of one, talking to someone, but also praying about it, because that's huge in your life. If you're not praying, you're not living, because like that's how you communicate with your Lord and Savior, your Creator. And if you're not communicating with Him on a daily basis, you aren't living your life correctly. And I would definitely strive to do that.
Young Bucks Counseling.
Young Bucks Counseling, $20 an episode.
Yeah, I would say to that, like, when I've taken, like, the days that I take time, like, before I do really anything, I don't necessarily mean, like, just wake up and instantly, like, read the Bible or, like, pray. But, like, before you really get into the day,
Pray.
like, spending time with God, that could be reading, like, a portion of the Bible that, like, leads into prayer, or you pray before you read, like, just, like, taking some quiet time to, like, acknowledge God. Like, I would say that, like, whatever that means to you, whatever, like, you could see that as, could be a walk or something, like, just something that where you acknowledge God before you really start your day and, like, make decisions and interact with people. Like, that's where my mind, like, throughout the day, I'll be more prone to pray, or just prone to, like, think of God, or, like, if I'm faced with something, like, where my brain could go down an anxiety road, it's kind of like, oh wait, like hold up, like it kind of like holds me back from that, and to where I'm more in like a better headspace to like deal with problems rather than like let them build up. So it's not like a perfection formula, like you're gonna live every day to the max, but it is very helpful. It makes the bad days better and like the good days greater. So like taking some time to acknowledge God before.
Put that on the shirt.
What's that?
Pray makes the bad days better and the good days greater.
Hey, that was actually kind of a bar.
It probably should go on a shirt.
I didn't even think about it
Young Bucks
until I
Podcast.
said it, man. But that's God, man. That's the Lord.
No, it's good. It's raw. It's real.
It is real. Young
It is
Bucks. Man, that was a Chris Solo episode 2.
Shoot, guys. Yeah. Go listen to episode 59, 61.
No,
episode 61.
Do not direct them. That is not the call to action here.
Stop, bro. That was such a good episode.
Let him pray first. Let him figure it out.
No, but I will say, I don't think I would have done that solo episode had I not gone through the breakup. I was really feeling a lot of emotions that day, and I could have had you. I could have waited for you to get on. I could have called Noah. I could have called Kyle and got them on the podcast. I was feeling so many emotions that I just let it all like on the show, and that felt really good. That was my release to, like, you guys will know it was kind of not necessarily like crying emotional, but I did put a lot of thought and emotion and like work into that episode. And
Wait a minute. Work?
That's why I love it so much, is because like not just because it was a solo, but just like what it actually meant to me, because it was in the middle of that, going through that breakup, and it did help a lot to film that.
Yeah, therapeutic. That's a good thing about the podcast. It's a good outlet to talk.
It's the great thing about the podcast.
Yeah,
podcast is great. Young Bucks Orange coming soon.
No.
No. Dang. So yeah, that is pretty much my summer in a bottle.
I'm glad we ended on a positive note.
Championship, breakup,
open house, graduating high school.
Oh yeah. Graduating high school and championship, breakup, work, new life.
Nice. Full circle.
That was my summer.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Ready for the next 4 months, that is.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's been episode 68.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. Hit it.
What was that?
That was a pass, dude.
Tossing it
that was the elbow behind the back pass from Jason Williams.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna just
hit it.
One hand alley-oop this real quick. So, today I'm gonna be talking to you about my summer, and there's 3 areas we're going to cover.
Wow,
work.
it's like speech.
Okay, I'm glad that picked up, because I was just trying to mess around with that. No, but for real, I just categorized it: work, adventure, and growth was kind of like the 3 topics. So
Adventure.
First, I'm gonna talk about work and kind of some of the changes, or just some of the experiences, man. So
skip like 5 minutes to hear the adventure, because that's what we're all here for.
You gotta save the best for last. But this is something that people want to hear about. You know, people want to know like the
But
ins
you
and
said
outs.
adventure, and then you can't turn away from adventure after saying it.
Okay, but like think about this: if we go adventure first, then they stop.
You have their attention. All right, you're fine. Go to work. Do work.
Yeah, fine. Okay, so the real estate company I was at for like 6 months, and at the end of April, I decided to change, and that was a magnificent change. I've been there for a good amount of time now. That was a little bit before the 1 year episode, but still, like, it was kind of notable, because then I also started working like part-time there. So like it kind of depends. It's like 15 to 20 hours a week, but like that was like an added responsibility.
What?
The job side of what I do.
Oh, like you're a real estate agent, but you also work there?
Yeah. Did
Like-
you know that?
What do you mean?
Did you not know that?
Well, I figured you worked there. Like,
I work out of that, like, that office, right?
right.
But I also am employed.
Oh, what do you do for employment?
So the broker in real estate, this is how
Secretary?
it works. There's like a broker, like
Mhm.
that's like the boss, but like you don't say boss because it's not like they employ you because they don't pay you. But in this instance, I guess she is my boss, but also like broker is like where you put your real estate license under as like a general salesperson, which you have to be for 3 years before you can upgrade to broker if you so choose. So she runs this brokerage. Like that's what the business real estate is called, is brokerage. She runs it. She employs me as an employee, and then also I hold my real estate license there. So my license, I can make sales, and with my employment, I assist her with her like daily, weekly tasks.
Oh.
And in turn, it has also doubled as like education.
There you go.
So it was kind of like the match made in heaven. Yes, I get like. Do you really didn't know this?
No, I thought you just like did the same thing you did before, just like with the woman.
No.
Oh,
It's like I added like a job. Like I work for her like 15 to 20 hours a week. Like as,
so
like-
that's why you got to go into the office.
yes.
Oh,
That's why like when I'm there, like majority of the time it is like hours. Like I can do it remotely. Like that's not the issue. Like typically it's better to work in person.
Right.
But like, so yeah, that's where like it was kind of like a match made in heaven. Like it was definitely like a great God thing that came like to me, an opportunity.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I'm not even surprised you didn't know that. Honestly, I'm really not.
Do you know what happened to me last summer
Last summer
or this summer?
this summer? Yeah, I just heard it for 40 minutes. No, I'm playing. What?
No, I was just kidding because like I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's all I had to say.
So then,
Back to you.
like, that's been going really well.
Did everyone know this?
Yes.
So it was just me.
It's just you. At least to my knowledge. Now you got me questioning if people actually know that. Not people, but just like
Them?
the vicinity of people. I don't
Oh.
know if people here knew it, but
I
on
didn't
the
know that.
podcast,
No, I didn't know that.
I don't necessarily know that I ever like verbally said it here, but I feel like I definitely have talked to you about like my work life multiple times.
I mean, I guess maybe it never clicked, but okay.
You know, maybe it didn't. It definitely never clicked.
Go ahead.
So like July is kind of where like action for that picked up, like just doing a lot for the employment side, and then also for like my self-employed side, which is like where the sales come in. Like I like gotten a lot busier, so that's been good. And I feel like a lot more educated about what I'm doing, and like conscious of what I'm doing. Like now I'm like really excited to be like building a real estate business. Like I'm not just trying to like make sales and be like this generic like realtor salesperson. Like I'm actually like trying to build like a business. I'm trying to like learn every area, and like she does sales, like flips, new builds. Like she kind of has like a bunch of different hats, and like that's where I'm trying to be. Like, and that was before I knew what she did. So it's kind of like that dream has come back, and like that's kind of my big picture, is just to really know all the aspects of real estate.
Mhm.
And like that's my like mission and focus. So like that's been awesome. And also like during the summer, like I started working at the restaurant in like March, and we talked about that like lightly, but like I mean, I think you know that I've been working at a restaurant, like
Really?
cooking for a little while.
Yeah.
And like a lot of the like for some reason, I don't know why I like did this, but like I started working like Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights for like a long time, like a few, like I would say a good like 6 to 8 weeks, like on and off.
You know you can't work Thursday night this week, right? Are you on for Thursday?
I think I am on for Thursday.
Oh, that's the draft night.
I know it's the draft night.
Okay.
Originally I wasn't working then, but then I got put on.
You're gonna have to get the next 2 Thursdays off.
I think I can manage the Lions game.
No.
I can figure that one out.
Okay.
And so, but this one I'm gonna have to be there. So I'm gonna just have to like be on the line, like flipping some rice and like just picking up Patrick Mahomes on the squad.
All right, there you go. Okay. Anyway,
That'll be fine. Like that's more seamless than like trying to watch the game. But like, so kind of just like upping my work ethic and like overall like just working more. I also did landscaping, like for some individual clients. Like I don't work for a company, but just like I don't know. It's just like it's been enjoyable to work, and I've like found like joy in working. Not necessarily all the time do I enjoy it, but like just the process. Like I know I'm kind of like I'm probably a step above like the beginning stages. Like last summer was probably like laying the foundation, and as I look back, I can see the growth. And like it's just been super great. Like I feel like we're moving, we're climbing in the ranks at work.
There you go.
So, yeah, it's just been awesome. Real good summer. Nothing crazy in August has happened. I closed sale number 3 in August. I don't know if we ever talked about that on here, but feel free. No, I'm playing. It was good. Really been enjoying that. God, my Job moment was like in January, and like if you want to call it that, like just like kind of rock bottom. Like
yep.
A few months into not making any money, not really knowing my purpose, like kind of just feeling like lost in the place I was at, and like to be where I'm at right now, mentally, spiritually, has just been like amazing to be a part of.
Mm-hmm.
So now we'll get to the adventure. The adventure. Some cool experiences, places that I've gotten to go. June 29th to July 2nd. We did the baseball tour. I got my Cincinnati Reds hat on right now. We got to check out three baseball stadiums: Kansas City Royals, St. Louis Cardinals, Cincinnati Reds. Chris and I and our father, we did a road trip for the boys, got Waffle House. We did it right. Took care of business. Kansas City barbecue. Anything else to say? Was that kind of it?
That's
it.
Good.
Then got to go what we here in the middle of Michigan call up north. It's a vacation destination.
I think everybody knows that.
But that's like one thing you think, but like say one of the good people from Europe is tuning in right now.
Okay.
I'm trying to cater to everybody.
Upper Michigan. Boom.
The northern parts of Michigan, there's a place called Traverse City. Surrounding areas, they got cool beaches. So I had the privilege of going up with my girlfriend's family. It's called Cousins Week. It's kind of like real nice. It's very simple. Just to go up and enjoy time with them. Not much responsibility. Just kind of like enjoying, taking care of business. Then we went camping last weekend.
Camping!
Straight up camping. Did we?
No food.
We had a podcast last week, right?
Yeah, we did.
So we talked about it?
A little bit. We had no food, no fire, no family.
Only one of those is true. No, none of those are true.
None of those are true. We did have a Pharaoh's rod, which started the fire, which then gave us food,
started the fire,
which then made family.
I'm going to move on to the last weekend.
Camping was legit. We're going again sometime.
This most recent weekend, Chris and I and our family, we went up north again. Different part. Just a quick little 3-day thing. It was enjoyable. Got to have a good time. on the beach, jumping off the pier.
Having a good time. It was good. It was a good vacation. Yeah, it was Thursday night, Friday, Saturday. Came home Sunday. We were supposed to record the podcast Sunday night, but ran into a little trouble with that one.
Yeah, speaking of adventure, I got to experience my first flat tire. We were driving home, so like we're about like from the point we first started driving, I think we were like 2 hours, 15 minutes away from being home, and like we talked to you on the phone. This was me and my girlfriend just driving, and then like her sister calls, and we're like almost like an hour 45 minutes away, like we're gonna be home at 8, and like we hung up, and like I swear like a few minutes, like maybe a minute later, like I changed lanes and I got a flat tire, and like all I see, oh wait, no, actually this is what happened. Like I changed lanes, and like we heard this like big pop, and then she like jokingly said something to me like, oh, there goes the tire or something like that, like driving on 3 wheels. And then I look at the dash, and like the light comes on, and I'm like, oh shoot. So I had to get over like 2 lanes to the side, and I'm like, I feel like I saw an exit sign coming up soon, and because I really did not want to get
Did you throw the hazards on?
No.
Oh.
I did not want to get stuck on the side of the road. That was not my concern. My concern was like getting off at this exit, and like I see the PSI is at 15, like right when we hit. I get over to the other lane, it's at 8. We finally make it to the exit, it's at 4. I'm like, oh man, like we're barely like getting off the highway right now. And then like sure enough, there's like an empty parking lot, like basically where I was just able to like coast like right into it. And I got up in there, started doing the thing, pulled out YouTube, looked up how to change a tire, because this is my first experience with it. And so I start loosening up the
lug nuts,
and this is like very challenging. Like I feel like I'm gonna break the bar that I'm using. And like,
did you have like a 4-bar?
No, I did not. I had just like an L wrench.
An L wrench, really?
Yeah.
That's tough.
It is tough. It was tough. But nonetheless, we persevered. And let me see how the story goes. I know I called Dad, and then like I saw something in the glove box that was like roadside assistance. So like they ended up calling, like my dad ended up calling while I was trying to get the tire like off, just to keep the process moving in the event we weren't able to, which thankfully, because
against all odds,
I got 4 of them loosened up. And then there was just like this one last one, which I was using like all my might, all my strength, like basically like putting my whole body weight into this thing, and it was not moving. Once the tow truck finally came, which was like an hour and a half later, because it was another police accident they had to deal with. And like he got this like big rod out, like this big pole that like could go over top of the L wrench, and he was like pulling on that. And he was bending the wrench more than he was moving the bolt.
Wow.
And so, like, actually, we did have, pause real quick, we did have one good Samaritan come by. He, like, pulled the car up. He's like, hey, you need any help? I was like, man, like, got one nut left. And he got his, like, the 4-bar,
Oh, yep.
And he tried it. I tried it. We could not move it. And so I was like, thanks, man. But, like, that's like, this is all we need is to get this last one off.
Mm-hmm.
And so he left. Later, the tow truck came, and he got his 4 out, and he had to use the momentum of the car. Like he pushed the car forward a little bit and like jerked the thing back like a few times.
Wow.
That got the last nut off, and then he used pumped the car up and then took care of business. Got the rest up. Now I know how to change a tire.
Jacked up the car.
And then we had to take back roads home. That took 2 hours and 45 minutes to get home. And that 8 o'clock turned into midnight. And a slow ride home. Average between like 45 and 55 miles an hour. Wow. Yeah. Which some would say is 50 miles an hour. But yeah, man, that was an adventure. The
That was
latest
an
one.
adventure.
But now, we live to talk about it. It was a cool story, man. Like, happy to have to be okay. That's for sure. But the last part of my speech is I was just gonna talk
Final
about,
point.
Yeah, rounding it off.
Rounding it off.
I just wanted to talk about, well, just like some growth, some areas I've grown in.
Growth.
One of them is now car knowledge. I know how to change a tire. I'm aware enough to get my oil changed when I need to. I can change a car battery. The glass on my car is now repaired because of the hailstorm. Just a lot of car related scenarios. I don't know.
Growth.
Excuse me?
Growth.
I started tracking my finances, which has been like an amazing thing. I would highly suggest it. Like, get a spreadsheet out, go to your bank account, like see where you spent money. Like, what I did was I took every month, like since January of this year, and I just like went ham on the computer. I put in every dollar that I spent, where I spent it, what day I spent it on, separated it by the months, and then like put my income to it with it, and like saw my net each month and for the year, and just like trying to be aware of like where I'm at and what I can spend my money on, and like trying to now formulate that into a budget. It's given me a lot of peace, I'll say. Like, financial stewardship is definitely the move. So that's my biggest advocacy. Is that a word?
No way.
I advocate. It's the biggest thing I'm advocating for.
It's my biggest adversity.
So. No.
Yes.
Besides the prayer quote, that was pretty good. That was pretty good too.
That was also good advocacy.
Yeah. That's kind of it. Good summer, good growth, good experience, good ups and downs. Overall,
Downs,
we
up.
did good. We did good.
You know that video of like they drop two balls from the same point, but the one with the hump and then the one with the straight line, the one with the hump like gets there first.
Really?
But
Builds
like
momentum?
but like it's like your road is the road you live on is bumpy, but like goes quicker than
That
final
straight
point.
line.
I don't know. It's like your road, your life may have ups and downs, but it gets you to the point where you need to be faster than if it didn't.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I don't know.
That makes sense.
Something scientific.
It's a zigzag. It's always gonna be a zigzag. There's no linearness. There's no linearage.
Does that wrap up your summer?
Yeah, I'm good.
We're gonna try. Like, we don't like know if this
Do
is
or
like
do not.
like we're gonna try and do this each week, but like we're gonna stop recording this and then we're gonna like film a reel for the podcast. Like, so it won't come from the podcast. So if you want to see it, you're gonna have to go to our YouTube, Instagram pages, you know?
Yeah.
Like, we're going to have bonus content outside the podcast type of thing. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we're going to try to do.
We probably will cut that.
Probably why?
Because that's just something you do and then talk about later.
Oh.
We need some proof of concept. Do you agree?
What? Yeah, we can cut it. What else?
I think that's it.
You sure?
Yes.
Undistracted 2 coming out next week?
Yeah, that's what's going to be happening. Is now the Undistracted series is picking back up.
Bob Goff.
Undistracted. Living life undistracted, thinking undistracted. Just, trying to find freedom, trying to find peace, trying to find...
Followed by Never Finished by David Goggins, followed by Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins.
Yes. we're excited for what Young Bucks has in store. Thanks for tuning in today. We will catch you next week. Peace.
Speaking of stop signs.